Our conversation with Dick Clawson is brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And Dick, good morning to you. I said I was going to ask you to wear two hats today, a ball cap and a hard hat. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Not a problem. You know me. I'm good with answers.
There you go. Well, let's put on the ball cap first.
Okay.
Of course, you've been so involved in Legion baseball around these parts for so many, many years. And this year, well, it's unlike any other and in a sad sort of way, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. On Friday of this year, last week, the national program announced that they were canceling the 2020 American Legion regional tournaments and the 2020 Legion World Series. Mm-hmm. And just being totally under the safety of all the players and fans and so on. With that cancellation, they allowed each state to determine what they wanted to do. And Pennsylvania is one of the top 5 in the country as far as number of teams, number of players. Last year there were 465 teams in the Senior Legion, Youth Legion, the Prep program, and the Sandlot program with 7,300 players and 900 umpires. So we cover across the state. At the youth level, which we have here in Indiana County, across the state there's 157 teams and 2,400 players and 18 leagues. So we're everywhere in the state. And on Saturday morning, the state executive committee met by conference call and kicked the ideas around and just wanted to make a decision now to cancel the whole season for everybody.
Yeah, and that's so sad because, well, a number of factors go into making these decisions, but the offshoot of it is that, next year, kids not having had played for a year, it might be making it a little bit more difficult to get players to come out to play baseball. Numbers have been down anyway, haven't they?
Absolutely, and you figure they didn't get to play any high school, any scholastic sports.
Yeah,
our team up in Erie, Mill Creek, was down in Myrtle Beach area in a tournament, and they got to play 2 games and got pulled back by their school district. And the 13th of March when everything was stopped.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, and unfortunately, the kids that were 16 this year won't be able to do it as a senior in high school, or as a 16-year-old in the youth program won't be able to play and miss that opportunity to go to the state championship if their team was good enough.
Baseball means so much to many people, and especially at this level it's so important to get kids involved in baseball when you get them at this young age, because it can become a lifetime thing, and if you break that line, then it's just going to make it awful difficult in the future.
And that's it. Also, we've got a lot of the teams across the state use public facilities, and those are shut down.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, of course, we've had at First Commonwealth Bank Field a number of tournaments, state tournaments, regional tournaments. Last year, I think they were both here in Indiana or in Homer City. And this year's West Regional is going to be in Punxsutawney. And so from an economic standpoint, that's going to hurt some communities too.
Oh, my, yes. The ones that get involved with it. The state tournament was going to be in Berwick, Pennsylvania this year. And they've already had plans made and contracts locked in for housing and feeding everyone. And the economic impact's pretty tough because we here in Indiana, when Homer City hosts it, we house 6 teams and feed 6 teams.
Yeah.
And the parents come in. I mean, we had over 500 room nights involved in the tournament last year when it was in Homer City.
That's amazing.
So it trickles down to your hotel tax, the food, the gasoline. It's a nice business.
All of those things, and that's at tournament time. But of course, there's that added loss of baseball for the regular season, for just kids getting out and being able to play ball.
Sure,
that's really going to hurt them. But it is the way that it is, and we understand the factors that go into decisions such as this, and it's just something that people are going to have to work a little bit harder to make next season happen. It's going to take a good pull by everybody.
And what we're hoping is if the if things get back to normal, let's say in the middle of June, that these teams get together and play each other is just their own recreation.
Just kids go play some ball.
Yeah, absolutely. The fields are there, and the infrastructure is there, and hopefully they can get together and play on their own and get it going there.
That'd be a great thing. A great thing. Take it back to the old days. We're talking
That's
with Dick.
Exactly right.
Talking to Dick Clawson this morning. You played youth baseball when you were a kid, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There you go.
I was a right fielder.
A right fielder.
Yes, sir.
There you go. So you didn't take the mound and whip the Dick Clawson fastball at him, huh?
No, sir. No, not at all.
All right. Hey, we're going to ask you to take your baseball cap off now and put on a hard hat, and we want to talk a little bit about the Indiana Armstrong Builders Association. We think of the Builders Association from a general public source, first of all, from the aspect of the home show. So let's start there and talk about this year's home show, and that obviously didn't happen last month, and talk about where it goes from here.
Right now, we're scheduled to have it the last weekend of May. Mm-hmm. We will be obviously following what the governor's advice goes. Our committee will be meeting the first week of May to see exactly where we stand. We have lost a few of our exhibitors because of other commitments, but actually I had three of the booths were filled up by other people wanting to get in.
Oh, there you go.
And then it will be at the KCAC, mm-hmm. But we'll have to see what the governor says, and then be careful. If there's social distancing, you really can't get that many people at the KCAC, and we'd have to take another look at it.
Yeah. So those are some decisions that can be made down the road just a little bit, because it takes so much planning to get this done. But a lot of people who have these businesses, that March date is so important because it comes right before the real growing season begins, and so they can get their wares out there before that season begins, and it really is a benefit to them.
Right, and a lot of our members get 2 to 3 months worth of business out of the home show.
Yeah.
Some of them actually get busy in January and early February because people know, hey, once the home show's here, they're going to be busy, so let's jump on it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
A problem I see is with the halting of construction since the middle of March. These guys are a month behind already with work that they had planned.
Yeah.
Under the rules, they're only allowed to do emergency repairs. There shouldn't be any new construction or anything going on at the present time.
Yeah. Well, that's the second aspect of this, is we talked about the home show and how that's affected, and it's certainly affected by the amount of work that is out there, but those ladies and gentlemen involved in the industries with the Indiana Armstrong Builders Association, they've got a really challenging year. They're sitting around chomping at the bit to get out there, swing hammers, and saw saws. That's
exactly right. And with the rain and the wind we had the other day, I had probably 5 or 6 calls at the office looking for roofers. Shingles blew off and had leaks.
Yeah.
And the guys, they've laid their workers off, and they've tried to pull them back. And the law allows emergency repairs, but no new work or any kind of just they can repair. They can fix the patch the roof, or fix the siding, but they can't replace it or anything.
In your role with the Indiana Armstrong Builders Association, what are some of the real things that folks are telling you are the struggles that they're facing right now?
Right now with the builders is a lack of workers.
Oh, okay.
Just a tremendous shortage. And, we're actively involved with the ICTC, and heard Kelly and Mike on this morning. Everybody that is looking for good, qualified people that can show up to work on time and be willing to work an 8-hour day.
Those are in normal times.
That's right.
In normal times, they're facing that, and it's just exacerbated by what's happening right now. There are businesses at stake here, and boy, we do need to get them back to work, don't we?
Oh, my heavens, yes. And some of the guys, the landscapers and nursery people can work. Mm-hmm. But other than that, everybody's pretty much tied down. The weather's been nice, and as you say, chomping at the bit, trying to get back out there and work. Yeah,
it's one of the things that I was thinking of the other day, was the fact that with some businesses closed, churches are closed that had projects that need to be done. This would be the ideal time to do them because they can't have church. But they're
absolutely. Our church is putting some air conditioning in, and they were ready to start the day that the governor shut it all down, and that's not emergency work, so
Yeah.
we couldn't get it done.
Yeah, and those businesses that, or homes even, that had projects in mid-project, and all of a sudden you got to shut it down. That's a whole separate hardship.
That's it. We've got 2 houses in our neighborhood that the siding's half taken off the house, ready to be replaced, but they had to stop.
Yeah. Oh, man. So a lot of issues for builders, a lot of issues all across the population spectrum, and certainly we sympathize with them. I know that you're out there advocating for them as much as you can, doing what you can to help them out.
Yes, sir. Try to, and make sure everybody stays legal and safe.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Dick, I want to thank you for spending some time with us this morning. There are things to talk about.
I appreciate you letting me talk about it, and let's look forward to some healthier times. And remember, this is all about families, and not baseball.
Absolutely. All right. Have a wonderful day today.
Thank you. You too, Todd. Thank you very much.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.